Let's see, screensaver on. Alrighty. Okay, copy that. Now what I need to do is okay, let's see here. Okie dokie, let's see here. Gotta load up the chat. Turn off my screensaver first. You know, I should see who's here because my PNG tuber face got a little upgrade for just this specific live stream. I've done a little something different with my what's it called, my PNG tuber. So let's see. Okay, you're in the chat, Kitson. I think I know who I'm going to. I think I know what I'm gonna do. I think people are gonna get a hoot out of this one, but that's just a theory. A game theory. Oh boy. I actually had to speedrun editing this just so I could like have something accurate for the live stream today. Considering it's a Q&A, yeah, you're allowed to ask me about lore, music, etc. Invite me? What do you mean? I don't need to paste the link in here. What do you mean invite me? What does this mean invite me? Invite me. Okay, yeah, so good reference. So yeah, I specifically got this idea because there was a friend of mine and Tunder's who is a theorist. He does theories on animations and stuff. So I'm hoping he shows up today. If you see someone in the chat with Travis Animates in their username or Travis Extra in their username, depending on which one he decides to use, I would like you to like just say hi to him because he's the reason why I specifically chose Q&A for today's stream. So hello, Ace. Ace, I don't get what you meant by invite me. Did you mean bite me as a Murder Drones reference and made a huge typo, or? You already said that. You already said hi. Said double. Said it twice. Yeah, I had to mad dash editing MatPat into... Oh yeah, that's cursed. Yeah, I had to mad dash editing Yellow Charles into MatPat, basically, for today. Because, like, all morning I've been working on a new character. Some of you might know this. I think whoever's here will know what I was working on, at least. Oh, it wasn't a typo. Oh, man. Yeah, so, yeah, there will be delay from your end to my end, but I think it's fair to say that it happens with every stream. I just tried to put it at ultra low latency to make that, like, not as large of a gap. But yeah, I actually will probably be doing artwork while the questions come in and all that. Hello, Egg. You're reminding me of a CG5 song already. You know, the one about eggs. Or an egg. They're kind of funny because then there was like a meme that would come later about Black having, like the Black imposter having a issue with frying an egg. Well, welcome to the stream, Egg. Eggshells. Oh no, are we getting egg bombed? Okay, that was a weird joke. I don't know. I should have made an Eggman pun. Would that have been more suitable or no? Was the eggshell good enough bombshell for you? Oh, man. Yeah, so... Yeah, today's definitely going to be mostly a Q&A, but I will be doing art, maybe a little bit of Among Us while the questions are coming in. So I know that a few people might have questions, but some of you might not because I've pretty much answered too much to those who I collaborate with on OC lore and other things. But yeah, if there are any questions, I should add a pinned message to the stream actually. That way people know what the acceptable questions are. Acceptable questions are as follows. Okay, so we got OC lore. Here, I'm gonna full screen this so I can see. OC lore. Oh, what was my first video? You know, I think it's hard to say because I may have deleted what my first video was, but all I know is when I made my first video, let me see here. I know it's private, so oldest. Yeah, it's this here, I think. But it's not easy to know because I had a point where I selected all of my videos, old and new, at one point, and unlisted them all or set them to private or something because I wanted to start over with my channel. But I eventually got a little stressed over it and changed my mind. But when it re-uploaded all of them publicly, it set a lot of them in a different order than they were initially uploaded. So when I can say my first video was one of these here, like one of these first 6. I want to say it's either one of these because I used iMovie originally, but I don't think it's this Mario villains in a movie and it's awesome. Yeah, a lot of my old stuff was cringy, and I even ended up like taking a lot of copyrighted stuff, like this thing with the Dark Might Rises. I won't go into that. It's private. It's blocked in every country because it uses copyrighted material. In fact, I might just delete that right now because I don't need that. Anyways, yeah. I wish I could say exactly which one was first, but the best I can do is say it was one of those 5 or 6 that were on the stream. And by the way, my channel didn't always start out with FNF and music content. it actually started as just a thing where I would upload stuff from school projects and assignments, and then it developed into me doing assignments and stop motion films for assignments, because my middle school was very hands on. So we would have like projects more than we would have like worksheets and stuff for most of the classes, because we had it was like a small private school. So yeah. Another thing to note is my channel didn't exactly start when it was created, but I celebrate the anniversary on the day it was created anyways, which is actually coming up next month. Yeah, I created my channel on the 23rd of October 2015. So yeah, I really think I made the right choice to make a channel. And if you ask me, I learned and failed and took inspiration along the way. My channel has not been consistent until FNF lit a spark and changed it pretty much forevermore. So yeah. My channel has remained a little more consistent, but it's kept the same vibe it initially had, which is like everything is variety. Yeah, my channel will be, I think, next year or this year. I want to say it's 2015. I know that last year I almost had a mix-up where I thought it was my 9-year anniversary when it was really my 8th. There's even a YouTube short I've made with that in it. It's the one about the Sonic, the something about Knuckles Part 8 video, and they made a typo, and I was like,
wait a sec.
I can make a
Did
meme
they
with
just
this.
say chapted instead of chapter?
So I think it's where is it? Okay, let me see. Okay, that Lego bit was from one of my older stop motion videos. And this was the thing that I messed up. This was part of my channel banner that I was doing for my 8th anniversary, which I realized wasn't my 9th. So yeah. Yeah, next year I'll have a decade-old channel. So yeah. I guess I guess it's because yeah, actually what's funny about today is that I have MatPat Yellow Charles as my VTuber, basically. And now I know that my channel is 1 year younger than FNAF, or 1 year older, I mean. No, wait, it's 1 year newer than FNAF, because I want to say FNAF came out in 2014. So like, yeah, so next year my channel will be as old as FNAF is now, pretty much. Whole decade. And I might just see if anybody has any questions related to rather than videos, but like my start as a creator in general. Anybody got any questions about that? I think I've barely bring up my origins about where I started before YouTube, which is an acceptable question. You can ask me about like what did I do before YouTube and all that. Because like there are hints to where I started out on my actual channel, actually on my about section. Yeah, specifically in the links. Anyone got any questions about anything? If not, I can like keep doing art until the next question. Also, Egg, I want to say thank you for your question. That was a good question. Which of my OC's lore or design changes a lot? Ooh, that's actually a really good one. If I were to make like a top 3 of the characters who have had the most drastic design changes or lore changes, I think I want to say Hermit is probably a fourth placer, but if I like Hermit the Fraud, my Among Us OC, he's my first Among Us character I ever created after rediscovering Henry Stickmin. So, for those who don't know, Hermit's current design looks kind of like this. This is for an animation meme. But Hermit is probably the one that has had one drastic style change from his initial appearance when I created him on Scratch. Now, originally he was just a joke character that looked like Kermit the Frog, but as an Among Us. Because I thought it was funny to call a character Hermit the Fraud, because there's like all this like betrayal and backstabbing in Among Us. So, yeah. His lore originally was he was a loner who just was like a crewmate who didn't want to hang out with anybody, and nobody knew whether he was crew or imposter. But he lived on his own in a secret section underneath the main map of Skeld, I want to say. That might be slightly more developed than how it was originally, but that's a synopsis of his original lore. But who has changed more over time? I'll say it's probably got to be Meijin, because Meijin has had notable lore changes over time. Her lore has also been expanded, and her redesign by Ace has been like changed a bit over time. In fact, funny thing was I originally when I was creating her, I spent like I want to say a week or more creating May, and then I ended up meeting my friend known as The Majin on YouTube. He's a Friday Night Funkin' cover maker who coincidentally had just released his Majin Sonic related fangirl OC. So, hello. I'm just gonna try and say the username here. I have trouble with usernames and real names. Oh man. I want to say moderate I can't say this. I gotta slow down. Mod Dorate Elreal. Moderate Elreal. Is that okay? Well, you know who I'm talking to, right? You know I'm talking to you. I'm sorry if okay, modder. Okay, that makes it a little more simple. Thank you. Because I'm sometimes bad with usernames. In fact, speaking of that, lasagna isn't an easy word to spell for most, so I'm surprised I've made it to 500 subs with a singular username. Okay, well, just to finish up the previous question, briefly, Meijin is probably the most changed character in design and lore. And how I make FNF music. That is a dependency on whether you mean FNF covers or remixes. Or do you mean, oh, what programs do I use? I can narrow down that much. I don't use FL Studio for any of my music, actually. I use 3, most times 2, but 3 programs slash apps. So one of them is a website which also has a conjoined app known as BandLab. So this is BandLab. I actually do more of my remixes on here than I do. Yeah, and the other program I use for composing and other remixes, like you may have seen on a friend of mine's channel, Thunderblaze, I did a remix for him recently for an Undertale remix for his Undertale AU, which, fun fact, I will be doing every track related to every character used in the AU for Undertale by Thunder. So stay tuned for more of that, and if you haven't yet, sub to Thunderblaze if you don't want to miss those. I have a playlist on my channel of the 2 that are done so far, but the one from yesterday, or the one that was uploaded yesterday, is the Spider Dance. So this track here, I composed on MuseScore. Recomposed and remixed, I should say, because it's not fully an original composition after all. So, yeah, I add stuff to things using BandLab, like my mixing and additional mashupping and all that, and even sampling is done on BandLab sometimes. Oh, you released a mod today. All right. Yeah, I think everybody has a different strong suit. For me, it's one way, and then for most people who are used to FL, it's normally really good audio I'm impressed with anyone who can at least master it. Oh, an old OC, and if I I find it and had an idea to make it. Okay, I'll get to that one once I answer the last bit of the question about how I make FNF remixes. Simply put, to sum it up, I use BandLab for mixing and additional samples, use MuseScore for composing, recomposing, and instrument MIDI sort of switches. And then additional effects, I use GarageBand for that, if needed. It's like an as-needed thing that I don't always use. But yeah, those are the 3 programs I use. I'm used to it. And I struggle using FL, also because I don't want to have to pay for it or use a cracked version, which the cracked ones haven't always worked for me because I think I broke I broke it doing that. So yeah, but in all honesty, I would use FL if I knew how and was better at using it. So on to your second question, Egg. Do I have an old OC? And if I do, how did I find it or had the idea to make it? Well, first off, I've been making characters since I was in 4th grade. My oldest character was inspired into my mind because I found in my 4th grade school's library, the safe haven of the library was like really good. So I was in there and I found this how to draw manga book. In fact, I actually recently found out, I was getting a game theory background earlier, just an FYI. I actually found this how to draw manga book. Like, I found the version that I used. I got inspiration from. I'm not sure if I found it on here, but it was like made to be an inspirational book, not exactly show you exactly how. It was mainly to get you inspired by the style, and boy did it work on me. But hi Maddie. Just a little bit about the character though. I made a superhero character who is still canon to my lore, my multiversal canon of OC lore. Since that day, I've been creating characters over the course of middle school, and then I took a hiatus for a little while. But then when FNF came around again, when FNF first came around and then came around again, around that time I had created by then Yellow Charles, a ton of binders worth of characters, heroes and villains alike, some of which are still canon, a lot of which have been scrapped. But Ice Girl was my first actual actual character that could be called an OC. Yeah. Yeah, she's still canon. So is her sidekick, who has had a rename since. His original name was Shockboy, and I think I changed it to something based on lightning, but I forgot what it was. Like I wanted to call him like Lightning Bolt or something. I don't know. I forgot what I renamed him to. It's somewhere in somebody's DMs. Oh, how I got into art in general. Well, I think that kind of is how I got into art in general. Because before 4th grade, I was just like the kid who was getting in trouble for locking himself inside a locker in kindergarten while he was on timeout. But yeah, I actually did start art before discovering manga. I didn't start drawing independently, though, until that point. How I started in art was basically kindergarten with the activities. So, like, hand painting, abstract stuff, coloring within the lines terribly, all that. It's where I started doing art originally. But don't worry. I didn't end up getting in worse trouble than that day locking myself in the locker while I was on timeout. Yeah, I was in kindergarten. It wasn't a closet, Ace. It was a locker. My locker in the school. Like, I was banging on the locker door when I got stuck inside because I got bored of sitting in timeout outside the classroom. And when the locker door finally opened, literally every kindergarten and preschool teacher on the floor was literally glaring at me outside. I was scared more in the locker. I mean, less in the locker than I was when they let me out. But yeah, I was a little brat those days. But then again, it wasn't because I was a brat. It was because I didn't know better. Little did I know I was autistic, which is why I wasn't maturing as quickly as probably other kids that were my age. I was always the nuisance kid also during middle school. With when it came to people who weren't exactly like friends, especially the 8th graders. I was very annoying to them. I would apologize, but then I'd go right back to it out of impulse. So yeah, it was a weird way to live out through middle school. Oh yeah, I was kind of like that. I wasn't exactly the gremlin who wanted to have some fun instead of doing schoolwork. I just had fun instead of doing schoolwork. I didn't even think about it that much, if you ask me. However, the time that all changed in my life was in 10th grade. I'll be clear. I struggled so much in 10th grade, but over time I came to my senses and matured better than I had in years. I probably wouldn't be like a high school graduate if not for the struggles I went through in 10th grade. So yeah, I was literally a hyperactive puppy with a Ferrari speed brain. But yeah, that was me then, and you know me now. I still ramble from time to time, but it's not as bad as the time I did in 3rd grade, where literally a girl who hated me called me a chatterbox in the correct context, and I got a little sad. But yeah. Yeah, 4th grade, my initial 4th grade year, though, the reason why I loved the library and had it kind of like a safe haven, she wasn't wrong, yes, but I in 4th grade, things were way worse for me. Like, I repeated 4th grade later and had a new fresh start, but the reason why things were so bad in 4th grade was the hellish nightmare I'm calling the Brown Intermediate Center chaos of teachers that don't know what their students are doing. Yeah, so there was the school that I went to initially in 4th grade. Just to make a long story short, it was held and it's been shut down. It was shut down in 2021, I want to say. Yeah. So yeah, if you Google the school, just know you're in for it when you hear my end of it. If you ever do, I'm probably not going to go in depth into that though. I did not fail 4th grade. I actually started school early, and that leveled me to where I needed to be. In fact, repeating 4th grade actually balanced me because I started preschool or kindergarten early. I was literally ahead of everybody in 3rd grade, and then 4th grade was chaos, switched schools, and rightfully repeated 4th grade. I think it's fair that I repeated since I started earlier than everybody else. It leveled me with everybody else at the same time as it being a repeat. But thankfully, 4th grade rerun, let's say it like that, no Sonic EXE pun intended, but 4th grade, when I redid 4th grade, I ended up having a lot better time, and it was where I started creating more characters rather than just little Doodles and Ice Girl and Shock Boy at the time. That was their names. So I remember this fondly. I was sitting on the playground on my first day at my new school for repeating 4th grade. And I was drawing in a binder. I used to take line paper, stick it in binders, and draw characters on that. I was drawing a new character based on myself. It was a character I named NB after my real name initials. I'm not gonna say them out loud. Ace, you better keep your mouth shut. No name revealing. Ace knows my real name, just a little bit of context. Don't say it. But yeah, so NB was a cyborg version of myself. And I was drawing him on the swings. I was drawing him while sitting on the swings on the outdoor playground one day. And I remember there was this kid named I want to say his name was no. I know that I got that year I gained 2 friends who stuck around for my entire schooling at the school, which was 4th to 8th grade. I still know. Before moving, I at least got to see them both once before moving. So I still had connections with them because we went to the same church, or at least two of us did. The other one ended up switching churches, but still came over because he was at the school for special church events relating to the school. But anyways, aside from that, I got 3 friends, or soon to be friends, I guess, at the time, who came up to me and said, "Hey, what you drawing?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm drawing an alternate version of me." And this is a paraphrase because I don't remember how it went up till here. They were like, "Hey, can you draw me?" And I was like, "Maybe." And then another kid was like, wait, if you're drawing him, can you draw me too? And then a third one was like, yeah, let's all get drawn by this guy. So I was instantly becoming popular because I knew how to draw characters which wouldn't have ears until 2021 after I graduated from there. I was a celebrity. And it didn't end there. Throughout my whole middle schooling at that school, I was known by many names. I was known by the leader of the NB Bros, which was our little artist cult, let's say. There were a few times where we made our lore real by enacting on other little groups of kids. It was not an art group project simply, Ace. Yeah. it was a very happy day after the hellish nightmare I had experienced in my first time in fourth grade. Like, I had only two people I could say were jerk friends, and then there was only one kid who really understood me, who was a kid who had rumors that he did some gross things, like picking on certain parts of his body besides his nose, and including nose. I'm not going to say where, but they were rumors, and he and I were friends only because we were outcasts, unlike everyone else in the fourth grade. Yeah, so yeah, I know it's an you moment, but he and I were both outcasts because we were different. Like, even the dude's sister had like grudges against him to the point where he and I were the only two who would sit together at lunch. I really felt bad for him, like, regardless if the rumors were true or not. He needed somebody. He was a nice kid at heart. So I was like his only friend throughout the whole year. Hope he's doing well now, because like, if he's somewhere better, I really hope he is. I really do. Like, I really hope he's at somewhere better in life. So yeah. Hello, Raven VR. Welcome to stream. I'm currently answering the question of how I got started with creating art and characters and art of all kinds now. But yeah, so essentially after the repeat, I gained friends, and over time, I became like the most popular kid in the middle school building. Yeah, so yeah, welcome to stream. Welcome to stream, Raven. The thing about though being popular was the varying reasons why I was popular. It wasn't limited to art after a certain point. I brought up earlier in stream that I did Lego stop motion films for projects relating to school and for fun too. Well, I would bring a huge crate, basically, like a cardboard crate that I had custom modified with my cardboard expertise of crafting. Yes, I didn't just create stuff with Lego, but yeah. Oh, wait, I don't know, dude. I feel like that feels familiar. I don't know, dude, from my one. Remind me the app exactly, because I think I know. It's coming to mind again. BandLab. I knew I was getting there. I was like, it was either Scratch or BandLab. I was on there. Yeah. I really forgot that. Yeah. Sorry for not recognizing you at first. I really have forgotten a lot of the people who I've run into on BandLab because it's been a long time since I've been publicly active, as of before this year. But it's great to see you here. Yeah. So, yeah. I actually should bring up though one thing relating now that Scratch and BandLab have been spoken by me. I wasn't just known for art in middle school. I was also known for using Scratch, which over my ninth grade homeschooling year would become a thing I would transfer over to BandLab for, and actually just silently leave Scratch for over 2 years. And I eventually announced that I might come back briefly for things, but I won't be active there. I also regret not saying anything about, like, yeah, my journey started on Scratch and then BandLab, and that's what changed my YouTube channel. However, my YouTube channel predates both my Scratch account and my BandLab account. This channel predates everything I did on the internet prior. Yeah, well, there is a little note I should make actually about this. So I started Scratch after I joined my new fourth grade school, which I would stay at till 8th grade. And yes, I eventually was like a decently known Scratcher. Decently. I wasn't that well known. There were a lot more popular people who I know still. Some of them I know still, like Coolby. I want to say that's what his username was. He was a extremely popular Henry Stickmin Scratch game creator. In fact, he's known for a few of the most well-known Henry Stickmin fan games made on Scratch that have been created. In fact, I've played a few, and they were the best fan bits I could get at the time. Still might be top tier for fan Henry Stickmin games that I've ever played. So yeah. Yeah, over the course of Scratch, I created Yellow Charles. My YouTube channel was mostly dormant during this time. Oh, what is my favorite memory with my online friends? Are you meaning like prior to Discord and all that? You know, I think I'll bring up one for each platform. How about that? I'll start with my early days on YouTube, and I'll do an extra one for currently on YouTube, maybe. But when I started out my channel, I remember a lot of friends I knew from school. Most of the people who first subbed to me were people I met in person and just told them about my channel. However, there was the occasional person who found my channel by chance, and there was this one person called That 70s Kid and His Toys, who was like, I assume, a Lego enthusiast, and he saw a few of my stop motion films and said, keep up the good work. I don't know how old he was, where he's at now, but all I know is I probably wouldn't be able to respond to comments as well as I do now, if not for that start, because, like, I didn't know how to reply to comments to people who I only knew over the internet. So that's a good memory of the early start of my channel. Some of the good memories I have from Scratch, moving on to that, seeing how much I inspired people with the creation of my OCs, especially with Yellow Charles. Now, some of you don't know this, but Yellow Charles canonically has a brother, a cousin, and a younger brother. And he's the middle child of his 3 siblings. So Charles actually had 2 extra characters who were known as Blue Charles and Cyan Charles originally, who were inspired because I created Yellow Charles. They were created by 2 friends of mine that were Scratchers who I haven't had contact in for years, but one of them had the username as Zoe the Games. The other one had Stickhog1. They requested me at certain points to like make them profile pictures for Blue Charles and Cyan Charles, who I later on adapted into Charles's brothers David and Zach. You can probably guess that the one by Zoe the Games was Zach, Cyan Charles originally, and then David was Stickhog1, who actually I made the username Stickhog1 canonically referenced by David in the lore, who has the jet pilot codename of Stickhog. Stickhog1, basically, yeah. I think that would make more sense because Yellow Charles is a helicopter pilot. Zach is a engineer for equipment and some of the flying vehicles. And then their older brother David is a jet pilot who goes on special missions that require stealth and jets. Yeah, so he needs no co-pilot. He's that good. However, there isn't a given canon reason why David, being the oldest of the 3, wasn't named Charles like the Charles before, who was their father, Charles Calvin II. And yes, canonically, Yellow Charles is from the same bloodline that Charles Calvin and Henry Stickmin is. Now, I want to note something. Charles didn't always have this lore. He was originally just a reskin character with minimal lore who had brown shoes because he was a reskin of Henry with yellow headphones like Charles is. And I made lore as an excuse, basically, saying that Charles doesn't like mud on his shoes, so he wears brown shoes rather than yellow or black, which is still canon now because of that initial use. Another thing, though, is that I also had inspiration from another scratcher to make Charles's rival and his girlfriend's brother, Brock BK. Brock BK is based on a Black Charles variant, like Black Headphones Charles variant, created by I want to say he was Polish. Yeah, Polish. A Polish scratcher by the name of Beartech BK. I didn't want to keep the name Beartech because there was a different person with that username on Twitter who has harassed a few friends of mine, and after finding that out, I definitely switched it, finalizing that because I'd actually run into him on a server, coincidentally, and considered changing Brock's name before it was Brock. So yeah. Hey Thunder. Yeah, doing a Q&A today. You should make sure Travis watches this one, because I've actually given in-depth a little bit on a bit about Charles and the creation of his family members. Also, I should note, speaking of family members in general, Charles's parents were missing in action, and the his uncle actually is the one who. Oh yeah. I mean, you can do that. Is there a reason why you need that though, Thunder? There a reason for that? Just asking before I continue. Because I need to have a certain reason to. I can make you mod. I just need to know why. Even if it's for like buddy reasons, you know. But yeah, Charles's parents went missing in action, and he has kind of like two different uncles essentially. One of them being the one from his mother's side, and then the other side, which has Batstick, his cousin, who also has deceased parents in a different way. He had an uncle and an aunt on that side, but his uncle from his mom's side, who never got married, ended up being Charles's caretaker and being his like commander until Charles was like made a leader of his own like squadron, which would later consist of his girlfriend Christina Gray, Zach, his younger brother, not David. David was a separate squadron already, so he was not in the crew, but he assists his brother and cousin when it's needed. Oh, my comments. Oh, well, I think I can manage that. If I need assistance, I'll make you Ace and Kitsune mod probably. Don't worry about it. I think it's good for now. But I thank you for your concern, Thunder. Yeah. Another thing though to note about Charles's uncle on his mom's side is that he was like the one who took care of Zach and Charles during their young years after their parents went missing in action. He's in fact the reason why they were trained to their skill sets, because he was their caretaker basically. He is not related to General Gale Force in any way, but he is like Yellow Charles's equivalent to General Gale Force. Yeah. Oh, don't worry, it's fine, Egg. It's alright. Yeah, I was going a little bit into Charles's family history. Oh, speaking of that though, I brought up that Charles Calvin is Yellow Charles's great 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 grandfather. Uh, I want to make note that there is a little bit of fan canon within that, because I've recently realized Victoria Grit, one of the leading generals seen in the Henry Stigman collection during completing the mission scenes, she's probably still alive in the ending which Yellow Charles spans from, which is an actual ending in the Henry Stigman collection. Now, I specifically chose this because the top hats need to be eradicated. Additionally, Henry and Ellie need to be out of the picture without Charles and doing their own sort of thing, rather than being with Charles and doing more missions, like in the Triple Threat ending. So it's not Triple Threat, and it's not Valiant Hero, obviously. It's not Revenge, because Charles isn't in that one, and neither is Ellie. Ellie has to be canon in some form here in order for Ellie to not be a threat in Descendants. So, the canonical ending that this spans from is the Pardoned Pals ending. Probably one of my favorite routes besides the most favorited one being the Triple Threat one. In fact, I might even like Pardoned Pals and Recruited, like New Recruits, better than the Triple Threat ending, because it gave me, it has a lot more action and humor than if I were to replay the Triple Threat route all over and then play through the Pardoned Pals slash what was it, New Recruits ending over the same amount of times, I would be bored of the Triple Threat one in about, I'd say, 3 or 5 gameplays after initial playthrough, which is fact, because I still play the one with Ellie and Henry doing stuff, and then they pick a side at the end, more than just them already on a side doing a assist that ends up with them assisting the government over and over, probably. So the reasoning why it's Pardoned Pals, the Tobbats are abandoned. They're literally destroyed completely, eradicated and wiped out. Victoria Grit obviously survives because she is probably somewhere on the battlefield. And then also the fact that Ellie and Henry are doing their own thing, most likely, rather than being a part of any big crime or big government issues. So they're separate from Charles, and there's enough substantial fan connections that have been made to say that Victoria Grit would be an interesting companion for Charles Calvin. So I actually have made in this canon, it's not really referenced directly to give space for people to make their own depictions, because that's based on fan made fan fiction stuff. But it can be hinted at that Charles Calvin got married to Victoria Grit. They had kids, and then the next generation had 3 kids, which later would spawn into Charles, Batstick, and their parents before them. So yeah, and also that includes Charles's uncle on his mom's side. That being because it's from his mom was the one who was blood relate. Oh no, wait, no, my bad. I got it backwards. His dad was the one who was bloodline related to the Charles Calvin line. However, he married a woman who had a brother, so that's why Charles has multiple uncles. He has one from his mom, one from his dad. And his dad's one is deceased, along with his uncle's his other aunt. His uncle on his mom's side. This is a little tricky. I might just draw the family tree. You know, this might be a better way to do it. Drawing the family tree might be the easier option. Cause like I'm getting it jumbled on myself here at this point. So here we have Charles Calvin. I'll put a C-O-G in there. And then we have plus, I'll put a question mark because it can be suspected it's Victoria Great. But I'll put VG in the side there. And then they have a child who becomes Charles Calvin the First. Yeah, so Charles Calvin the First. Oh, okay. Travis is at school. Really, it's a Sunday for me. Maybe it's a weekend school. I don't know where Travis is located, so I won't assume anything based on that. Where I shouldn't be assuming. But yeah, this Charles Calvin the First gets married to someone, we don't know who, it's not given. And then these two have two kids, that being two brothers. Charles Calvin, that does not look like a C. Charles Calvin, I want to say second. Yeah, Charles Calvin the Second, who and his brother, who is unnamed for the moment. I'll say Batstick's dad, because that's it. Well, I should make that like a double, like they both have this. There we go. And then Charles Calvin II gets married to I want to say I named her Rose. Her maiden name, last name is not given, but I think I named her Rose Calvin, I want to say, in the lore. So Rose Calvin, that's her name after she's married. And then Batstick's mother is married to the other brother. And then Charles, David, and Zach all come from these two. So Charles, that being Yellow Charles, aka his real name is Charles York Calvin III. In fact, they gave him a middle name, which is why he likes the color yellow canonically. He couldn't find any other colors that had the letter Y in it, and he made it up on the spot that he liked the color yellow. When he was first asked what his favorite color was, people didn't like him for that at first, but then they realized it's more than just the color that comes out when you're peeing. So, yeah, they made fun of him like that, I'll say. Calvin the third, and then David and Xander Calvin. Now, there is no canonical reason why Charles, being the middle child, got the family heritage name, aside from the fact that David was born without they didn't want to keep their children naming them Charles Calvin. But at the time, Charles Calvin the First was still alive, and he was like, you should name at least one kid that. Doesn't have to be the first one if you have multiple, but I'm willing to bet that you will have multiple based on the fact of genetics. That was a weird thing that I canonically made a good while into my thought process here. So I'm going to say it's canon that Charles Calvin I was a genetics and medical professional for the government rather than a helicopter pilot. which I must now decide what Charles Calvin II and Rose Calvin would have as occupations. I would assume they would be normal military generals. So, yeah. On the other end of things, Batstick, Charles and his brother's cousin, the kick butt superhero who needeth no powers, who also is very oblivious. He's like if you took Batman and made him like Inspector Gadget, basically. Oh yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're the only viewer on here now. I could be wrong. You could be wrong. I could be right. We could be both wrong. I don't know. But yeah, this is gonna be Yellow Charles and Family Tree, so I'll just color the background behind it. I'll color the background behind it. So Rose Charles will have pink binder because it's kind of rose. Okay. Well, I don't know if my stream is like getting the count correct, so I'm just gonna do and then red for these two lovebirds up here. Actually, I'll make the other one green. Actually, no, yellow, because Victoria's hair is yellow. And then I'll make this one gray, and this one gray, and then this one even more gray. And then we've got David, who's blue, so he gets that. And then Zach, who's cyan, he gets this. Well, his full name is Xander, I guess. But people call him Zach for short. Forgot to mention that earlier. But yeah, Zach typically goes by Zach rather than Xander. So, and then we have the Golden Charles Calvin. So yeah, this is basically a sketch of his family tree, simply put. So yeah. Oh, I forgot to add in Rose Calvin's brother on here. So Rose Calvin has a brother who is also an uncle of Yellow Charles. I think I named him after I want to say Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I think I typed that on a Google Doc. I'm not sure if I named him after Arnold or not. Let me see. Headcanon character names. I've started typing some. So it looks like, oh, I named her Diana Calvin, not Rose Calvin. I forgot I changed the name after Rose because it sounded like an Ellie reference. But the name I think that I gave him was, I want to say it's not Nick Stone Eye, because Nick Stone Eye was like the equivalent of Nick Fury, you know, the guy who founded the Avengers. Yeah, I've got multiple parodies of Marvel and DC in here. Yeah, in the same canon as Yellow Charles. So yeah, I want to say I named Charles's remaining grandparent, or I should say uncle. I think I named him Statler or something. I don't know. His last name wasn't Calvin though, so his name is yet to be finalized. So yeah.
You know what? It's lunchtime.
So yeah. However, just while I'm on this document, if you want to know a few of the names for the hello, welcome back, Raven. Yeah. Yeah, so a few of my Marvel parody character names. Nick Stone Eye is basically Nick Fury in the Stick universe. Iron Stickman, aka Toby Shark. Yes, he has sharks in a pool in the Gojo Tower, as it's called. It's like a combination of a meme relating to Alka from Phineas and Ferb. Yeah, it's kind of like its acronym should be self-explanatory, but it isn't. Yeah, so there are also DC comic parody characters I've created, obviously, due to Batstick being a thing. So I have Super Stickman, whose secret identity is Ben Kent Dent. Yeah, I know. And then the Hulk has an equivalent who isn't a Stickman. He's like in the beef up sequence with Henry. I want to say those sandwich fail. Like he's kind of like that, but huge. He's called the Oblivious Muscle Man. He's so big he could step on Henry, and Henry would be flat like a pancake stick man. He would be like basically something like a pancake, I guess. But the Oblivious Muscle Man, his real name is Mark Sizzlepants. That's a joke on the fact that the Hulk is typically only seen in shredded pants. So I called his secret identity Mark Sizzlepants. Also because the person who plays Hulk in the movies, I think has the first name of Mark. I could be thinking of that wrong because I only know that because I saw the cast of Avengers Age of Ultron on Jimmy Kimmel Live, which are where I figured out some of the ones I didn't know, or at least the actors' names. Anyways, there are a few merged characters in the Stick universe too, by the way. Some of them include video game related characters and sci-fi characters, such as my combination of 2001: A Space Odyssey's HAL 9000 and the infamous killer robot of Portal 2, GLaDOS, who has a character in the canon known as Val. I think I renamed him from Gal 9000 because it's a he to Val 3000. A joke on Valve not being able to count to 3. The VAL standing for Valve, and then the 3000 being the 3-bit, which they probably won't be able to count to 1,000 times over. So, good luck with that, Gabe Noel. I might clip that for a short. Anyways, yeah, so that's one of the merged characters. But another one is I've merged Captain America with Wonder Woman's boyfriend, Steve. I want to say Trevor or Steve Rogers. One of the two. They both had the first name Steve, so I named them. I've named their combination Captain Steve RT, which I think I made it stand for just random or something. It was like just initials. Oh, you made multiple accounts on YouTube and you lost all of them. You know, that's kind of relatable. I had an old Gmail which I don't even know what happened to it. It's gone forever now. But I got something out of it basically, but I'm not gonna say what that is because it involves personal info. But yeah, that's somewhat relatable due to that small instance where I lost the Gmail. I do have a few accounts on YouTube, or at least multiple Gmail accounts. One for drive uploads, my alt channel, which is dormant at the moment, and then I have this channel. And there is a reason why my alt's tag name is called Funny Cow Like Potato. I'll get into that later if anybody wants to hear about that. Also, if you're wondering, I do have Guardians of the Galaxy parody characters, which is what these are under right here. So I have Stick Lord Peter Quilt, basically Star-Lord, the only Chris Pratt personification Stickman, besides a descendant of the character Martio in the Henry Stickmin collection, who is named Chris Patterson, I want to say. I forgot what I named him. I know I kept the name Chris, but spelled it with a K, and then I changed the last name. But yeah, there's a prestigious actor in the Stick universe with the name Chris spelled with a K rather than a CH. And he has something like Patterson. I want to say it was Paddington, but I don't think I did that. But yeah. So there's Stick Lord Peter Quill, aka Stickman Star-Lord, basically. And then Sodom, or for short Soda, as she's nicknamed, basically Gamora. There's actually a reason why I chose the name Sodom. It's because in the Bible, there are two cities that are destroyed called Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah were bad cities, and they were given the chance to like give up their evil ways and repent, but they for years decided not to. So the Lord destroyed it. It's not my favorite story in the Bible, but it's one that has a lot of depth to it. All right, see you, Raven. Yeah. So that's why the Gamora equivalent is named Sodom, or Soda for short. The Soda being just a nickname. As for Rocket Raccoon, he's got a Mario joke in his name. How ironic. Tanuki Rocket Launcher. That's how he says it. He says, I'm Tanuki Rocket, or you can just call me Launcher. Yeah, it's a joke on the rocket launcher sound effect, So, yeah. And then Groot just has a character in his place called Tree. I don't think I need to go into that one too much. And then in place of Drax, there's Rodden X, who is a joke on the fact that the name Drax means thinker or someone who asks questions. So I named him after the dude who created the famous sculpture known as the Thinker. I gave him his last name for a first name and then added X, because it sounds cool with an X. That's a quote. Trademark Silly Lasagna 2024. Woo! Everything sounds cooler with a Z or an X. Like, Silly Lasagna X. Okay, that may have been a stretch. But yeah, Prey is basically... Well, I forgot what I made this one a parody of. I don't even remember at this point. I want to say, oh yeah, it was Mantis. That's right. I should note that it's a parody of Mantis on here. Mantis, dude, or Mantis girl, Okay, there. And then Milky Way is basically the alternate nebula from Guardians of the Galaxy. So yeah, yeah. Also, fun fact, relating back to Yellow Charles' like extension from Pardon Pals, Mad Yellow Charles, excuse me, the alternate of Yellow Charles, who's insane, he is from the New Recruits ending, which is the same route that happens in the Pardon Pals route, except Henry and Ellie choose to become members of the Top Hat clan, and in exchange for Henry giving the Top Hat leaders the ruby back. So, hello, Andrew. I have been lore dumping for a long time. There's been a lot of questions coming in, and I've just been lore dumping, I think. But to be fair, I think I answered a lot of stuff. And don't worry, you didn't miss you missed a lot, but you can rewatch it. It's not something that was like call film theory. Oh, well, you haven't seen the edit I did, except on the live stream. Probably you're seeing it now, but like I had to mad dash to make this before today. Yeah, that's cursed. What I did to make this was like really cursed. Anyways, I do have something I want to announce relating to an OC I brought up earlier in today's live stream, being my first ever character, Ice Girl. I want to dive a little bit into her lore and her universe that she's in a little bit, and then I'll announce a few things relating to a new cast member for that world. So Ice Girl, she's a girl who was stuck in a frozen lab accident and ended up becoming basically Elsa and an ice bender that's even a thing in Avatar. She's like a blend of Elsa and a bender in Avatar, but she also can fly and is a superhero. So yeah, pretty simplistic if you ask me. But yeah, Ice Girl is a character who is the first character to ever meet another character from another universe in my canon. The battling dummy is her mentor from another dimension. He's a robot who eventually becomes a robot who takes on interdimensional threats alongside my fictional persona, NB, who I created in my 4th grade years. This is for anybody watching back, basically, who has context prior. I'll go a little more subtle with the rest. But yeah, there was a time period in which I was creating tons of characters throughout 4th grade till 8th grade, and I've continued making characters since. Now, the lore has obviously changed a ton over the past, like, I want to say 10 plus years I've been doing this sort of thing. So, I am really excited to say that my first publicly announced superhero character, Geode Girl, is canon with Ice Girl in the same universe. And additionally, there are tons of rogues and tons of heroes and young vigilantes in their universe, which causes the battling dummy to, under his creator's name, his creator is deceased, by the way, he establishes within the government of that universe a way in which people of, like, that are mutants or were creatures or even just have, like, a telepathic power, or they have multiple personalities. Anybody with an abnormal power can, like, attend this school to learn how to, like, better use their powers and get used to controlling them. It's open to anyone who has the power, meaning a villain could just let their kid go in there if they have powers and let them get an education and be a total jerk. But like any good school, they have rules in place to prevent this because it happens one time in the lore. But aside from that, there are tons of other characters. Mags, a recent character that I created, who has 3 different personalities, hence why her nickname is Mags. She has 3 personalities who share a mind and body together. They don't control the body all at the same time. One is in control, kind of like picture it like Inside Out, but instead of emotions, we got 3 different personalities with separate sort of emotions to them in a way. We have Sasha, the rambunctious one. She's the guts and the tomfoolery of the 3. She, in fact, will have Ginger, the calm and naive personality, talk to someone only for Sasha to blow their secrets all over the floor in front of whoever they're talking to. So yeah, Sasha's the one who likes trolling, basically. If Mags was an internet star, she would have probably Sasha would be a troller, Mags would be an artist, and Ginger would be the flirtatious one who looks on Reddit for a boyfriend. Yeah, not the best lineup, but thankfully that isn't canon. They just act like they might do that. I notice I'm the only one here, but I'm just gonna keep going and people can rewatch this. I'm pretty sure MatPat will have a great time analyzing this one. So yeah. I think I might take a pause on live stream. Oh, wait, somebody's here. Someone's here. Oh, you're still here. Why did it say... Oh, it's because you're on mobile and people have, like, different windows of layers, probably. And, okay. So, yeah. Yeah, it's good to know that somebody's still here, at least. So, just an FYI, though. about Ice Girl, her universe has a lot of variants of character, of like species. In fact, even at this school, there's alien transfer students. Yeah, Mag's future boyfriend is actually an alien who can mimic physical contorting powers. Like if he saw Elastigirl, he can mimic anything she does. And if he saw, Ant-Man, he could shrink and resize himself if he wanted. Yeah, so Hugh, what did I name him? Hugh Quacks. It's not spelled like you would think. It's spelled without a U in it. It's QWACKK. It's because he's an alien. Yeah, so Hugh Quacks is Mag's canonical love interest, especially through Ginger, who is the first of the three personalities to get a liking for him. In fact, Maggie herself, the main original personality, doesn't really like Hugh that much until she gives him some sympathy, and the two of them become friends, and he becomes friends with eventually every personality, and then they become boyfriend and girlfriend later on. So yeah, that takes a bit of time though, especially because of how they become friends, which is something I'll keep in a little package for maybe the next Q&A. Thunder, you're back. All right. Well, just an FYI for you, I've dumped a bunch of lore relating to that character I was drawing this morning, who I am about to unveil live on Livestream. Now, this character, for those who don't know, who might still be here, is a character who's a new type that I got inspired from because of a YouTuber known as, I want to say her username is like, hang on, actually Rhea, I want to say, I'm gonna look it up, yeah, actually Rhea, this video here at the top of the search, yeah, the one where she says, so I accidentally became a furry, that actually gave me more ideas for characters, besides the one I'm about to unveil. In fact, I wouldn't know what kind of character I should add to this ever-expanding universe with a ton of heroes, which I actually need more males in. I have some male characters, but not all of them are like main characters or recurring ones. Besides the main antagonist, who is a ex-student known as Acer O Spades, has no relation to Ace. So anyways, here's for those who haven't seen the final product. Probably no one here hasn't seen it at the moment, but yes, I created a character who's canonically a furry. I am not a furry myself, but this character is. It's to represent a little bit of indifference. Yeah, I told you how I created it. I told how I created it and why, but I haven't announced who it is, what her specialties are, and how this plays into the canon in any sort of way. That's because I haven't developed that fully yet. So I figured, why not do some spitballing on stream? So this is gonna be the hopefully interactive section. Kitsune, if you're still on audio, feel free to butt in anytime and say, hey, this might be a cool idea, or that really is stupid. Don't say it like that, but you get what I mean. Yeah. So this character is my first character who's canonically a furry. Her design is one with a lot of depth into how I did it. Now, I know there are furry artists out there that draw not safe for work artwork. So I was thinking, how am I going to deal with this, you know? Like, I don't want to be exposed to stuff that I would have to censor in this video. Oh, new fish. Oh, you mean the one with Pico? The Pico playable announcement for September. Want to say September 12th is when they're publishing it. Yeah, I saw that recently. I am hyped. However, I probably won't be able to play it right away, but I'm gonna be so bad at it that it'll be funny like last time. Yeah, the last update, for those who don't know, I totally made a fool of myself, forgetting that they don't have the mechanics of the of like mod engines where you have like the like if you click a key when there's no note or no notes at all, you don't miss. Yeah, they didn't have that mechanic in the base game. So yeah. Your IRL high school is a furry. You mean your high school friend? Because I remember you had a high school friend. Yeah, I was like, high school is a furry? But yeah, I remember you brought that up one time. Yeah, so, yeah, I get it. It happens to us all. So yeah, this character though, this furry, who doesn't classify me as a furry, she herself is classified as a furry. She comes from a bloodline of once shifters who were mutated into furries rather than transforming under the full moon. However, due to this, their DNA would vary sometimes, resulting in them to being able to mesh breeds if they wanted. However, it dates back to probably, I want to say, the 1900s when their bloodline started. So yeah, they're like the oldest existing bloodline in that universe, besides were creatures. Because there are a few characters in the lore that have ancient ancestors who were werewolves. Yeah. And werewolf characters. So yeah, the furry character is canon to the same universe that Mags, Ice Girl, and Geogirl all existed. She even attends the same school. So yeah, she is classified as a mutant bloodline character, and also a furry at the same time, because her bloodline was mutated basically, and they take credit sometimes for being the reason that furries exist in that universe. But they don't always, because they know there's controversy about it. However, she is the only one who wanted to learn how to better learn her strengths and abilities at a school that could teach her that without making fun of her for being literally a purple fox humanoid. So she basically joined the school and instantly was accepted by a lot of other characters who are relating to animals but aren't furries necessarily. Those characters being Tina the Tie Girl, who is a like another bloodline related character. Oh yeah. Yeah, Leanie probably is going to have a meetup with this character, and the two of them are going to become instant rivals for a while. That was actually a canon thing I thought of after realizing, hey, we have a purple needle mouse looking humanoid Mobian already, and we have this purple fox furry character. I wonder what would happen if the two were also kind of quirky and had a prank war. Yeah, it kind of is like My Hero Academia, but alternate. Yeah, I'll take it like that, except I created Ice Girl before that anime existed. So I can say Ice Girl was pre My Hero Academia. I think, at least, unless I'm unaware of when it actually was starting in development. Yeah, that anime is actually a good comparison to these characters. However, there's a difference between the two that is drastic. the fact that the school has a founder from another dimension whose name is under their creator's name. Oh. That would be a funny bit, but then Leanie would brush it off. It's like she doesn't like competition, unless she's like in a different skill set than the other person. Oh yeah, I definitely want to watch My Hero, but it wasn't as interesting to me as some of the other things I prefer watching. But I do acknowledge it's a really good series, worth checking out if you like a good superhero-related anime. However, I was more into the BNA series more than that, because Brand New Animal just gave me like more relatable vibes to my characters that I was creating when those two shows were at least in their hype of beginnings. Additionally, though, I will say character designs in My Hero are goated. And, yeah. The ending of the manga for My Hero? Is it like what we got when Team Rocket broke up in the anime? Is it that kind of depressing, or is it like not depressing and just bad? Cause like I know people don't always like things. Also, hi Jan. Yeah, I'm not a furry, but this character is just FYI. Probably gonna have to say that to every person who joins while I have this character on screen. Also, I should note this is no longer a pre-final design. This is going to be her finalized design for the moment. So I have one thing I'm going to tweak. It's like a low to high and go back to... Oh, okay. Oh, all right. So it's like a loop sort of thing. Like how they did the Star Wars reboots. If I'm understanding this correctly. So like the story is like at a low point, then a high point, then it goes back to low, and then it ends, basically. So I think I get it. It's like the story climaxed in a good way, and then it ended on a sad note, kinda. It's not what I'm understanding, Thunder. Also, I gotta do one thing to her eyes real quick. There is something I wanted to do with her eyes here. Here we go. Now they're gonna bloom that. Do a bloom. A little blur first. Actually. Oh yeah, that actually looks a lot better. Yeah, that's better. That's better. And I'll just duplicate it. And now I need to make it literally a different color. Oh, okay. So it's like Spider-Man No Way Home, except nobody cares. Am I understanding that? Like nobody cares about him saving the world. That's disappointing. Yeah. I would be more sad about that than Team Rocket. Team Rocket's exit in their final appearance in the show. Yeah, it's really sad. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that's got to be depressing for a lot of people. Knowing that the hero of the story isn't even remembered for his heroic deeds. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to adjust the highlights on her hair a little bit. Also, just a heads up. I actually did this all in one morning. So, prior to now at least, which it is 1 o'clock. So, everything you saw before me editing this, like with the artwork, is stuff I did this morning. Up to like around 9. I wonder how long I spent on this, though. Oh my goodness, 2 hours, 44 minutes, and 25 seconds. That's actually really good time for this kind of a character. It's like I speed ran the design and it came out really well. Also, her ears were originally going to be larger because she's a fox, but I decided not to go with that route because it looked a little weird. Because, like, if I hide her hair layer, the ears look like they could be a fox. Or at least a different animal that has fox-like ears. But yeah, that's why I chose to make the ears a little smaller, because her ears are covered partly by her hair. They extend directly from her head like a human's ears, but are fox ears, basically, that are higher up on her head than a human's ears. So yeah. Also, I have different mouth expressions I drew for her during the process. This one is her like neutral smile. Then this one is her mouth open. This is her like old mouth open concept, but I realized it looks cuter like this, you know? Also, her hoodie wasn't originally going to be green. It was going to be the exact opposite of that, in fact, because I inverted the layer and just thought it looked cool, but this is how her hoodie would have looked otherwise. Yeah. And the sleeves would have been the same color as the hoodie is now. See, like this, basically. Yeah. It would have looked something like this, but with, like, the navy blue on the arm and not white outlines for the arms. So, yeah, I ended up flipping the color scheme by accident and was like, huh, this looks better. Because the color scheming really pops when you have two contrasting colors. Another thing I will say about the process of making this character was there was no AI used to make this art, but there was AI used to inspire it. What I did was basically I had a character I wanted to make my own spin-off of, and I didn't intentionally make it a furry initially. But for fun, I wanted to see what would happen if I plugged it into an AI that analyzes and gives you a description in text of what it sees in an image, plug that into an AI image generator, and see what it would spit out. In my process of tampering around, I was like, huh, I could make a furry character for the canon with this. And then we had the furry character created by me based on the AI outputs, which I'll say were very different a little bit, but it caused inspiration. Like her outfit here is slightly inspired by the initial image that I used with the AI describer, and then also the artwork of or the AI generated images of the description of that artwork. But the color scheme is completely different, and I developed it based on a few of the AI outputs, but made it my original thing in the process of that. Like, it was inspired from something else, but it's my character original. And the design is also original too, despite pulling inspiration from AI artwork. Or not exactly artwork, but AI generated artworks from another image's description. So yeah, I don't tend to use AI that much, but for this universe specifically, I've been using AI infrequently to get a little bit of like tabs of inspiration of design. I create the lore originally, and normally I create and to avoid NSFW for the most part. The AI image generator I use specifically as a PG-13 maturity filter for anything that's like in a PG-13 movie or higher. It blocks anything that's over the age of 13, but you can turn that off if you're careful with your settings. And only do that if you're over 18. I'm not going to say how that works or anything, because I'm not going to get in trouble because I'm 19 and I don't want minors doing anything with AI that'll get them in trouble and say, oh, this streamer did it. So I'm not going to say what I'm using in public here. So just a heads up. But the AI images I did output were where I got costume, or I guess outfit formatting ideas. Additionally, this character ended up coming out slightly like I want to say her name is Licorice, the skunk character from that one Friday Night Funkin' mod. I'll just pull up an image of her real quick. I know I DM'd Thunder about this earlier, so yeah, this character here. This is Licorice. So like you can see the resemblance kinda. They both have like kind of like the angled skirt, you know? They both have an angled skirt. Yeah, I mean I would too. I definitely would. Especially since this character is like a musician. Like if she's single, I'm gonna ask, hey, would you go on a date with me? I would actually ask this character that. I would probably be nervous as heck, but yeah, I would definitely ask this one out on a date and hopefully get the girl in the end. But yeah, she's fictional, so I can't say I can do that. But I can't make Yellow Charles do it either because he's already got a girlfriend. If I have a Sona that isn't MB who also has a girlfriend canonically, I would probably try and get them to line up with this character in a boyfriend-girlfriend sort of format. But that's a what if. Especially since she exists in the main FNF universe rather than my FNF AU, which wouldn't have this character as a merge probably, but rather as a character who might be used twice. There might be one as a male and one as a female who are like bickering siblings, probably. That would be how I'd picture how I'd use this character in my AU. Anyways, though, yeah, she kind of has the same outfit sort of stuff as this furry character. But the original character or the sprite sheet that this is based on, I'm just going to send this in my DMs with Thunder, is this character here from a very underrated mod. I plugged this image into an AI describer, took the description, modified it, and put it into an AI that generates images by a different group. And then I was like, it's not coming out the way I would hope for like inspiration for an alternate of this, but it does come out like it's a parody of it. But then over time I realized they have like different settings, and I was like, wonder what would happen if I set it to furry. Because like this AI generator I was using has like different like options for style. So like you can pick anime, 1990s cartoon, 1930s film, anime in varying forms. And then they also have settings for furry in multiple different styles. That being painted, drawn, and a few others. Want to say painted, drawn, and sketched. I want to say the other, but I'm not sure. But I basically tweaked the description of the image to the point where I got a few AI images that were really, really good. I'll just click on one here. This one was one of the ones I used mostly directly for outfit designing. However, I did try to blend it with the original image from the original asset it's based on. Yeah, so there were quite a few that came out pretty well. There were a few that didn't go so well because they were, I changed the style a little bit and it didn't come out too well. In fact, it asked me to enable the 18 plus filter. I didn't save any of the ones I didn't think would be handy. And yeah, so yeah. But there were a handful that really helped. And I didn't want to give it the same color palette or have it have human skin. So I basically made it. Oh, let me see. Oh! Oh, I think I remember this. I think I remember hearing about this. I don't know. Have I heard about it? I want to say I have, but I don't know. Don't know for sure. You know, another thing to note, though, about this generator is that you can add humanoid face features if you want. Originally, I was going to make this character a cat, by the way. She was going to be originally a cat, but then I ended up liking the idea of having a fox more, because I had a fox character in that universe who I scrapped because it didn't make sense at all. She was like a orphanage owner who had like a mutation instant, and she ended up becoming like a split personality fox shifter. So yeah. Yeah, I scrapped that character ages ago, so I was like, huh, what if this furry character could have like the fox motif in honor of that now scrapped character. So like I was like, yeah. Cat characters are heavily overrated. Plus, I do have some already who aren't exactly cat characters, but they're already cat shifters in the same universe. Like Tina the Thai Girl, for example, she's like one of the cat shifters in the canon. And then there's also a handful of non-shifter cat characters. Along with my alternate version, a girlfriend who is literally a mutant who can become a mutant cat character. So yeah, I didn't want to copy that directly either, especially since I don't want people calling my version of girlfriend a furry. That would just be really, really odd. I wanted a character who's specifically a furry. Now, another reason why this character came out as a furry specifically is from a lesser-known Marvel character who is a furry. Quite literally. Like, her backstory is partly what inspired this character's bloodline factor of being like alternate versions of a werewolf breed who were mutated. So let me see. Good Boy Marvel. Yeah, so Good Boy is basically, if you know the character Monster Girl from Invincible, well, basically take the concept of that and then make it instead of a giant goblin monster, you get a blue buff furry guy in place of it. So yeah, simply put, it's like that. But Good Boy Marvel character, I want to say it's named Good Boy. Yeah, here it is.
This Marvel superhero is a furry. That's her superpower. You asked, so she's not turning into a werewolf, but a live furry costume? That is exactly right.
Is the character.
Her family is born with the ability to turn into anthropomorphic animals, and hers is a giant blue wolf man. Her name is Goodness Sylvia, but when in wolf form, she has named herself Good Boy. You'd be right in thinking this still sounds like just a blue werewolf, but this is what she tells Big Bertha. I'm not a werewolf. It runs in my family. Actually, me, my brother, everyone, we're not all wolves either. We're all different animals. My brother is a fox with two tails. It's and Big Bertha responds, a fursona? And Good Boy is like, yes, exactly. So Goodness Sylvia herself fully embraces Good Boy as a fursona. But that's not the only reason she's a furry. In the beginning of her story, we see that she's an artist, and we see her drawing this. A giant buff leopard man. She both turns into a furry and partakes in the furry fandom. This Marvel superhero...
Yeah, so that's kind of part of why I decided I would go this route with the character, essentially. So yeah, that's pretty much part of it. the main gist of it is I had a lot of different inspiration pulling from multiple places. So yeah, there was a lot of inspiration coming from a lot of different places over time. Oh, this is what you were talking about. The what, or is this a different thing? Is this your AU for FNF? I would guess it's the Friday Night Fantasy one now that I see, but it's behind the Pico alternate. So yeah, that's actually really cool. Yeah, where'd my Discord window though? Yeah, this is really good. I like the design of, I want to say that's Nene and Darnell there. Those two really look like the best designs out of all of them. I'm curious who the skeleton is. The skeleton robot like in place of Tank Man or someone else? Because like I get that the orange headed priest is probably the monster, and then these two dudes in top hats are the replacements for Skin and Pump. These are Nene and Darnell. I don't know who the green eye character is. Is he like a... Yeah. Yeah, so wait, what is the little green eyes thing on this version of Girlfriend's head? It's a pea plant. Oh, like it's Plants vs. Zombies sort of thing, or am I getting that right? Cause like it looks like it could be. Okay, well, I'm assuming then that this skeleton is not what I initially thought it was. What is the skeleton in the back? Like, what is he? Is he like the zombie for Plants vs. Zombies, essentially? Like, is he like the equivalent to that? Is he like a zombie warrior skeleton or something? Or... Oh, Skid is the skeleton. Oh, I get it. So the orange is Pump, the skeleton is Skid, then there's the pea plant, but oh, those are the tank men. I should have guessed. I got it all mixed up. The tank men goggles are on these top hat dudes. Oh man, that's clever. I didn't catch that at first. But yeah, their glasses are shaped like the tank men helmets. Oh, that's clever. That's clever designing. That is clever design right there. Yeah, that is cool. You know, I might as well leak something. I'm gonna send it to you though. Here. I don't know if anybody saw this, but Nia the Flashhog has her hay pose now. I have completed the hay pose. Also, where did I get pinged? Where's my ping? Where have all my pingies gone? Oh, it's from Sorval. Why isn't it scrolling? Oh no, did Discord get... Oh, it's because of that. Yay, Silly Billy, my song with half of the name being mine and also the other half of the name being my friend Billy Vans. Oh my goodness. Billy Silly Billy, we're doomed. Yeah, so yeah, Nia is going to eventually have playable sprites as soon as I'm done drawing all of them, and maybe if Thunder animates them once I'm done making each pose. So yeah, this is her hay pose, not her left pose, but her hay pose is slightly inspired by Imagine Sonic's, I want to say it's his left pose, the one where he's like leaning backward holding out his hand. Fun fact about that pose, I actually wouldn't have Reese's Fun's as a character if not for that pose. Reese's Fun's initial design was a reskin of the Boss Blitz, I want to say the Boss Battle Blitz mod, which had like 3 songs before I think it got postponed or canned. Had one with Imagine Sonic, one with Dust Tail Sands, And I want to say the third one was, man, I forgot. I know it had Dustfail Sands, Majin Sonic, and one other character in its first week, but I don't remember what it was. It wasn't like Boss Rush, but it was the same sort of concept. Just had two different characters instead of the rest besides Majin. And the song in that mod, I want to say it was called... what was it called? It was called... Man, I don't remember. It was like... I'll just look it up. I think it'll be easier if I look it up. It wasn't the song Forever Zone. It was a different song. What was it called? Was it called... I don't remember. It was something else. Like... Okay, Boss, Rush, F and F. Let me see. Yeah, it's Boss Rush. Yeah, so... Edeled was the third character. That's it. Yeah, so let me skip this ad. But yeah, it had Dustfail Sands, and Majin Sonic, and Edeled before it was canned. But yeah, the Majin Sonic, Reese's Fun's original design was a reskin of this version of Majin. So whenever he does his left pose, blue interchangeability. So this pose here, I wouldn't have Reese's Fun's iconic Reese's Puffs pun of having a Reese's Puffs box in this hand here, if not for this for it being a reskin of this. So like he has like one of my earliest OCs that originated as a reskin. I think I actually have artwork of that somewhere, but I don't remember where. So I'm just gonna probably where is I gotta load this up so I can like double check something. Huh. I think the chat got stuck on my stream's end. Hold on. Hide chat view. Oh, it's past my lunchtime. I think I'll take this opportunity to pause the live stream here, but I will be back as soon as I grab my food and eat some of it. And I'll probably let you know before I'm done eating. So I'm going to put this on a temporary pause for now, basically. Stream will resume soon, folks. I'm going to send that in the chat and pin it. Then I'll put on the screensaver. Let's put on the screensaver first, actually. Now I will go to YouTube and basically do the thing with pinning that. All right, I will be back in a matter of minutes or so. I forgot I forgot to get it on the I got it on the wrong screen. I forgot I forgot to get it. There we go. I got it on the wrong screen. I forgot I forgot. Okay, there we go. I was just checking to make sure it changed. Okay. All right, I'm going to pin this. Pin message. And I'm going to mute my mic and I will return shortly. See you guys. Oh, wait. Before I pause stream here, I'm just going to load up a small playlist to have audio playing while I'm not here. So I think I'll just play what song doesn't have any copyrighted stuff in it? Because last time I did a stream, the copyright filter blocked all my audio from YouTube. So, I want to say if I play everything up till like all my uploads until Okay, I think I'll just play. I'll play my uploads until I think until I get my food. So yeah, I'll just play from Anchored HQ and my uploads up till Oh Snap, because the songs in between don't have any copyrighted material. So I'm just gonna start that up. Because I realized it's not going to play my uploads in order. So I'm just going to play this one. And then I'll have it play this one next. I didn't realize it's not going to play. Yeah. You know, there's already a playlist that doesn't have any copyright. So, yeah, I'll just do that. And I'll play the full playlist. Alright. Alrighty. Here's my private playlist. Alright, we should be set now. Alright, now I can go get my lunch. Be right back.
H.H. Greg!
This is certified public announcement. The forge never ends.
Save on everything at Christmas in July.
Oh snap, it's Jackson Octavius.
Thunder shoot the gun of wood. Thunder shoot the gun of horse.
You know I into my skin, give you fun and all you have to do is stay here truly and say open the door of this world and see and live responsibilities. Even then, so be aware, cause you know what you run in here. You'll find that in mind of a freak like me, there's infinite possibilities. You got my singing, so why don't you do a bit in after all? There's so much else to do. Even if it's solo, we forgot how to run. Too bad you won't be able to out here not thinking us on till the time we get like say goodbye to giving and strife. Even if it's solo, please stay. There's so much else to do anyway. We've been here for far too long. Swimming I was drawn from a sonic CD sound as Easter egg. We've been here for far too long, and the chance is gone to get us out of this gaming line. Yeah. Look at the stars, the never-changing body that will be out if it was daylight over here in this world. Nowhere to run or hide in the forever, somewhere we measure inside. For you must know, we've been here forever, we've been here for so long, we all forgot how to run in this world. You will see there are infinite many possibilities. Are you ready for the wall? I surely hope so. If you aren't, then shout out and say hurrah, for you must see. This world might be blue, but that doesn't mean that it's sad. Don't get it wrong, please. For you see, way back in the day, I was having endless fun. Everything was imminent, then to my surprise, the beast that looked like I came and sent, and I've been stuck here to sit and wait. But that doesn't matter, cause look at the stars. Never changing, buddy, that will be odd if it was daylight over here in this world. There's nowhere to run or hide in the forever, somewhere we measure beside in the snow. We've been forever, we've been here for so long, we all forgot. Endless, endless, and the burn is endless. Having endless stories, yeah.
Agility versus nation. Begin.
All right, live stream will be resumed in approximately a minute or at most 5 minutes. So just hold tight. Alrighty. I am set. Alright, I am back. Alright. So I am actually now looking at a post from a YouTuber who I kind of like think about as an inspiration to me being like, well, one of the inspirations to why I define my style better and animate sometimes the way I do. But I think this is relating to a comment I made on their live stream yesterday. I brought up the first video I saw by this animator who is a really good animator too. If you've never heard of Orbiton, you should check him out. But yeah, so I first discovered one of their funny HoloLive animations. It was too funny to not subscribe to him, so I did, and boy did I not regret it, because after that, more stuff for Orbiton's OC, Solar Girl, started coming out, and now there's like a whole like branch of the stuff. So yeah, I think the one that I first saw was the one where it was like one of the HoloLive characters in Mario Maker. At the time, I have no idea what HoloLive was. In fact, I still don't. I barely know a thing about HoloLive. Don't hate me for it. Oh, I didn't know that there was like a girl fist bump thing with two of my favorite classic girl characters from kids media. Huh. Interesting. Anyways, it was this one here. It was this.
Hey, gotcha.
This animation was like...
Man, I love being evil and alive.
This got me so hard whenever I saw it. Like, I didn't even know who she was. I still don't, but she's so funny in this. The way she's like so curious about where she is and what is going on.
Get her, brothers!
And then the anime fire. That's a spicy meatball.
Amazing! Amazing meatball! Whoa, independence ね。
Incoming!
He's independent! Have confidence!
The way this was animated was like just so
No
fun.
confidence! Oh,
And the voice acting too was really good. And then the fact that she tossed the axe and then Toad has it in his head is just like...
Thank you, Karone, but our princess is in another castle.
Huh?
Her reaction to the "thank you, but our princess is in another castle" meme. Oh, man. Yeah, I really liked that video, and that was why I sent to Orbiton. But yesterday on their live stream, I brought up that the first time I oh no, wait. She has other characters too. She's got like a kind of canon story, but this is one of the funnier characters of Solar Girl's universe, whose name is literally just Girl. But the humor of this post: hey, look, I found Girl. No worries, she was busy getting Twitter banned in Brazil. No, not Girl. She shouldn't have done that. However, yeah, I can totally relate to what Orbiton was meaning by, like, upping the quality and not, like, being able to look back at what you've made before because, like, it's, like, not as high quality as what you make because, now. Like, it's, like... So, I can... Yeah, I know as much as VTuber. That's the only word I know relating to HoloLive. Yeah, so... Yeah, that that was the one thing I found out, I guess. The rest of it is still a mystery to me. But aside from that, I really like Orbiton as an animator. And I might be the reason why Orbiton brought up that community post about old animations being hard to watch. I have that same issue with my stop motion films, knowing I have a completely different gig now for the most part. Still love Lego and stop motion. I just don't do it as much, and my stop motion films could have been higher quality. Yeah, totally understandable. Yeah, there you have copyrighted characters. However, that didn't stop Orbiton from making an original character that isn't HoloLive related at all. And I was like, well, yeah. Orbiton has a handful of characters, including Girl, Solar Girl, and various others. And Orbiton's a very talented animator and artist. I really like this one, a Girl, too. It's like a really funny smug face, which we have seen Solar Girl do only once, and it's on Orbiton's like watermark from their YouTube channel videos. But yeah, I mean, Solar Girl as a character is like well written. What is this? Oh, I have a hunch I know who sponsored this. I have a very large hunch on who sponsored it. Yeah, I should have guessed. It's one of those animations. Also, I know it's been quiet here, but it's because I bought a house. Oh, longest solo ever bought a house. Let's go. Oh man, I wish I could say W's in the chat, but I think Tunder's the only. Nope, Tunder and one other person, if it's not me, are the only people here. If you're here, send claps in the chat for LSC for getting a house. Oh my goodness, bro got a house finally. That's amazing. Amazing. You know, so like, oh man, there are so many things in this world that inspire what I make. So yeah, there's a lot of places I get inspiration. And no one place sums up every medium. So yeah. No one place sums up every medium or idea I've ever had. So yeah, there's like so many ideas I've had over the years that are original, others that are inspired from things, and everything in between. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do now, though, my parents said I do have a little bit of chores to do, but just before I go, I'm going to say this. There will be another Q&A stream, probably next Sunday. I'm going to make the Q&As possibly a semi-regular thing as much as I can, but I can't say that it'll be consistent like that. So yeah, let Travis know if he's free that I'll be doing another one next Sunday if he wants to be here for it. So yeah, if he's not able to, tell him don't worry, rewatch it because there's some spicy lore. So anyways, with that, I will be off. I'll see you guys all in the next one in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Longest stream, 2.5 hours. Let's go. See ya.